Hello and welcome back to Let's Play Wrath of the Righteous with me, Bregaton. Let's enter the Citadel and take care of some Crusade management. Elin looks calm but determined. Commander, I'm glad to see you return from the Abyss. Alright, here's the deal. Till we get straight to the point. While we were in the Abyss, these folks discovered where the souls are being kept. The ones that were stolen by the demons. Well, I wouldn't say we discovered it, exactly. I may be a cleric, but there are limits to my power. Especially here in the World Wound. However, we do know the general location. When I was looking for the souls, I had a vision. I saw a rock that looked like a gravestone, and beneath it was an entrance to a cave. I know that the rock is on the outskirts of the Winged Wood. It was not difficult to recognize the ancient forest. It's been burning for decades in an unquenchable fire started by the demons. I'm certain that this is where the souls are being held, but I don't know what awaits us beneath that rock. Anyway, Elin and I have decided to go there, find the souls, and rough up any demon or cultist that gets in our way. But we'd love to have your help. So you don't have any idea what's inside the cave? No, we don't. But we can guess. Do you remember what, or rather, who started all of this? The esteemed jeweler Derek Sunhammer and his darn trinkets. Well, we did some digging on him, and we believe he's one of Baphomet's cultists. Think about their methods, their magic, and their ability to infiltrate society and strike when least expected. It all sounds exactly like our jeweler friend. If we're right, we think this location might be a cultist hideout. It makes sense that he would take the stolen souls to a safe location in the Wound. Also, I believe we get one of the best, what I think is one of the best weapons in the game here. Not to use as a weapon, but it allows you to buff, I think, 3 companions. What happened to the bodies of these trapped souls? We were going to move them to Canabras when the Queen evacuated the city, but we couldn't. It was too dangerous to transport them. The clerics needed to focus all their efforts on sustaining the lives and health of the victims, and there were armies of demons roaming the roads. So we stayed in Dresden. Elin's brave friends protected the bodies. They defended the infirmary in your absence. Many of them were grievously wounded, but they succeeded in their task. Yeah, why don't all the Hound Hearts go and attack this cave with us? Alright, I'll help you. Elin nods. I'll leave at once. I'll scout out the area and keep watch on the cave and its surroundings. I'll share my findings when you arrive. A heartfelt thanks for your help, Commander. And as to return to my duties as a cleric, I have much to do in Dresden. I'm just itching to give my blade a taste of those soul-stealing cultists. But the most important thing is that we save the victims. And that's exactly what we're going to do. Thank you, Donald. I just want you to know, I really appreciate your help. I know these cultists are our enemies anyway, but I'm glad that you're not ignoring the plight of ordinary people, like the ones who are robbed of their souls. A figure approaches you, but it takes you a moment to recognize who it is. Janna, the ill-fated deserter from the Eagle Watch. She looks very different from the last time you saw her. She is calm and collected, though her face is a little pale, and you notice a scar on her right temple, jagged and fresh. Janna, Scylla beams at her friend. You're here. Yeah, I'm here. Janna falters, then blurts out. Scylla, how can you be smiling at someone who failed you? I thought you'd never want to see me again. I mean, I'll definitely give you a piece of my mind once we're in private. Scylla pretends to look stern, and that's how leadership should be handled. Most of the time. I really am glad that you're okay. Scylla's words bring a small smile to Janna's lips. Then the former deserter turns to you. Well, let me tell you why I'm here. I have business with you, or rather, a request. Commander, Janna hesitates, then continues resolutely. I know about the stolen souls. I want to help you search for them. I come to ask if you'll let me join you and Scylla on this mission. Please, give me another chance. We'll discuss that in a moment. First, I want to know how you ended up in Dresden. There's not much to tell. As I'm sure you remember, you chose not to punish me. You allowed me to go free. Didn't I put you in prison? I'm sure they released the prisoners once the Queen left Dresden or once, the demons took over, but still, I didn't let her go free. So I went to Canabris. I figured I'd forget all about the Crusades, have a fresh start, but it didn't work out. I heard the news about you and Sela, that you descended into the Abyss, and, well, I couldn't stop thinking about everything I had left behind. As soon as I caught wind of your return, I hightailed it to Dresden as fast as I could. But when I got here, I just couldn't find the courage to approach you, so I waited outside the Citadel until I saw Aelin and Sela. I knew you must be planning something together, and that's when I realized this was my chance to make amends. I might never get another opportunity to prove myself, so I came to see you. That's why I'm here. Why do you want to join us? Because I can't stand by and do nothing, Jaina exclaims vehemently. This entire story began with us, with our League of the Inspiring Cart. Then I got cold feet and abandoned you. And then you saved me in the Molten Scar. If I don't help you now, I feel like I've been written out of my own life story. How can I trust you? How do I know that you've changed? Last time we fought demons together, you ran away. You abandoned us, and you deserted your unit. People can change, Sela says quietly. All I have is my word. Jaina meets your gaze resolutely. My word, and my desire to redeem myself. But it's your decision. Very well. I'll give you a chance to redeem yourself. Go with Elin and help him. We'll meet you there. Really, I won't let you down. We're not just saving a cart full of booze this time. This is much more important. That just means we have to succeed. Failure is not an option. Here we go. Thomas Longar. My lord. An unfamiliar knight enters the hall. A white-bearded old man clad in armor that's polished to a sheen, and adorned with an image of Iomede's sword. Despite his age, his movements are confident, and his eyes are sharp. The knight's voice trembles ever so slightly, not because of his years, but because of his barely restrained temper. I have come to report treason. Who are you? Sir Thomas Longar, paladin by the grace of Iomede, and your loyal servant. Until recently, as Captain Harmaden's adjutant, I was mostly involved in staff work. Alas, I'm no longer of age to be fighting on the front lines. I shame that my chance to introduce myself to you has been made possible under such disgraceful circumstances. So an adjutant is usually like a CO's, almost like a secretary. Secretary/assistant. Where's Captain Harmaden? I say he's already made it halfway to Nerosian. That's what I've come here to report, my lord. You are, of course, familiar with the Wary. They're a circle of schemers who have been stirring up trouble practically since the beginning of your crusade. They're politicians undermining our holy cause with their petty intrigues. How many times have you routed them? And after each time, they were back at it again. Sir Thomas shakes his fist, then gets a hold of himself and continues more calmly. Ahem. I beg your pardon. I meant to tell you something that you didn't already know about them. Something I, sadly, didn't know either until now. The leader of the Wary this whole time, the one who incited their insubordination time and time again, it was none other than Captain Harmaden. That traitor, that blockheaded fool. Since the very beginning, he thought you were unworthy to lead the crusade. You thwarted each one of his preposterous intrigues, and now he's resolved to mutiny. The captain went to Nerosian to bring back an army, our supposed reinforcements. The moment you let them into the city, we'll order them to seize you. Yeah, good luck for starters. Once that's done, they'll try to take command of the crusade in your place. The nerve. If foolish arrogance could be used as firewood, summer would never have to worry about keeping itself warm in the winter again. What are you suggesting? I know that traitors must face retribution. What if treason has not yet overwhelmed them completely? Grant the captain a chance to gather his wits. Let us hold a memorial service in honor of the fallen crusaders. Once reinforcements arrive, we'll invite them to join us in paying our respects to our comrades. Remembrance of the fallen is always important, but it won't be much good to us right now. Our main concern must be coming up with a way to avoid bloodshed among crusaders. We could introduce a new holiday, let's say, the Day of All Good Gods. We'll greet the army at the feast and make the new arrivals sit at one table with our veterans. Let them talk candidly, and they'll see that they're surrounded by brothers and sisters. When the captain gives a senseless order, no one will have the heart to obey. We'll turn the traitors' plan against him. Dresden will become a mousetrap. We let the traitors in, close the gates, and block them inside a confined space. Then we can demand that they turn in their ringleader. We'll execute him in plain view of the troops. Good captain wants to play at intrigue. I'll show him how it's done. A couple of letters to the right people in Erosian, and he'll never leave the city. Sir Thomas, how did you learn of the treason? Remember the debacle the Wary had with their inane mutiny? That was when I first became suspicious. All of the traitors were close to the captain. A pity that I didn't report these suspicions on the spot. I didn't think it would befit an adjutant to inform on his own superior. Excuse me. But then I heard his speeches at the officer meeting. I blamed you for suppressing the rightfully disgruntled traitors. These words put me on high alert. When the captain left for Nerosian to oversee the arrangements regarding your new ally support, I made my way into his quarters and searched them. The captain left in a great hurry. He didn't even check to see if the letters he'd thrown into the fireplace had burned properly. There were just some charred scraps left. What they said was enough to figure out where he was going and what his plans were. The Queen has ventured deep into the world wound. Why hasn't he followed her? We haven't heard a word from Her Majesty in a long time. We can all sense that, even if she is alive, it's unlikely that she'll triumph. The Queen must be saved, and it looks like the captain doesn't believe that you're up to the task. No, that's not right. He's convinced himself that you're intentionally delaying the expedition to let her die. He hopes that, once you've been deposed, he can bring all of the remaining forces to her aid. So I wonder what happens if you rescue the Queen prior to this. I'm not sure that you can. Well, yeah, you can. You just don't have to issue the decree. What I find most tragic is that I understand the captain to some extent. Despite all his intrigue, deep down, he's still a true knight. But just like any knight, he is fully devoted to his lady. Didn't you notice? From the very start, his loyalty was not toward you, nor the Crusader cause, but to Galfrey, to her and her alone. When she set out for Eyes, he desperately wanted to accompany her, but his queen gave him a different task. Harmodin had to wait for Mendevian reinforcements in Dresden, form a secondary army, and only then could he move out in support of Galfrey. When he arrived and took command, I think, it was a painful blow for him. Let's discuss our options in further detail. Hope that together we can come to a reasonable solution. Sela, what's your plan? Choosing humanity over cruelty often proves to be a better way of handling disputes and problems. The soldiers are not at fault for being led by a criminal. They don't even know what he's up to. Before he gives the order to revolt, we'll receive the army as welcome guests. We'll seat them right next to our soldiers. Let the two armies become one. We'll offer our prayers to the good gods, and remind everyone that the spirit of the crusade is more important than our trivial quarrels. Once that happens, even if the captain is foolish enough to issue his order, no one will comply. That's your kind of plan, Sela. It hinges on an extraordinarily optimistic view of human nature. I, for one, believe that, no matter what, the captain will certainly be foolish enough to give the order, and his troops will be foolish enough to carry it out. To carry it out. Not enunciate. Regil, what do you suggest? The army doesn't know it's following a traitor. He wants to order them to arrest the commander. They'll be one step ahead. We'll let the troops into Dresden, surround them, and promise to spare their lives if they return in Harmodin. Then we can tell the warriors what sort of crime they were almost drawn into, right before we execute the conspirator in public. They'll be grateful to you for sparing them from unknowingly being complicit in treason. Lessons like these, ones you pay for not with time or gold, but with blood. These lessons are invaluable both to soldiers and officers. Risky. What if he orders his troops to attack first? What if the troops listen to him? There will be a slaughter. No. We need to defuse the situation carefully, without resorting to direct confrontation. So normally I do like Darren's suggestion here. It's not very paladin-like, so I'm not going to take it this time. Darren, your opinion, please. I have plenty of powerful acquaintances in Nerosian. Some of them owe me favors, and I can offer a lot to others. An army captain is not that big a fish. A letter or two, and he'll vanish like he never existed in the first place. As for the nobles that will help us, we'll have a nice shared secret. And secrets in common bring people together. Having friends in high places that are bound by spilt blood will open new possibilities for us. I believe that you and your cronies are unscrupulous enough to murder a captain of the Crusaders. What I find harder to believe is that you'll be able to pull it off in Nerosian, the heart of Mendev, without getting caught red-handed. And even if you do somehow get away with it, the Crusade's command shouldn't stoop to covert assassinations. Sir Thomas, what is your advice? Greet the advancing army with the morning bell's toll. We will step out toward them, and invite them to join us in prayer for all who have fallen in battle during this war. Captain Harmonden's plan is foolish, but he is a man of honor. Well, that's a bit of a stretch. We'll help him come to his senses, and think better of issuing a treasonous order. The traitor is positive he's in the right. As soon as you take one step toward him, he'll command his forces to draw their weapons. Your plan amounts to surrender. Thank you. Everything is clear. I defer to your sound judgment, Commander. So, I do wish that some of these had more drawbacks, and that there was, like, better choices than other ones. Alright, Seela gives us Feast of the Sacred Host. All generals gain +1 level to the Heavenly Ward feat for 30 days. This feat has 9 levels. What's that do? Infirmary size increases by 25% per level of this feat. Stacks up to 9 times. Regil, military exercise. All generals gain 50,000 experience points, and they get tactical superiority at level 20. All range units have a 20% bonus to damage against infantry units. All infantry units have a 20% bonus to damage against cavalry units. And all cavalry units have a 20% bonus to damage against range units. It's not bad. Darren gives us Dark Bonds. All generals gain +1 level to the Mighty Servant feat. This feat has 9 levels. The general has a +3 bonus to power per level of this feat, stacks up to 9 times. And Sir Thomas, Great Commemoration. Random allied Crusader army is recruited at the commander's headquarters. So I actually think that this lines up with a lawful good paladin. As one, usually treason is punishable by death, just in general. Let alone on the front line of a war. You're trying to take out the commander of a war. It also shows tactical acumen. And we are the Knight Commander of the Fifth Crusade, so we should be utilizing that. So I think I'm going to go with military exercise. Regil, lure Harmonden into a trap, and execute him before the ranks. Again, Angel of Vengeance, not Redemption. Good. I'm tired of hearing about these wary. We'll finally put an end to this farcical band of criminals once and for all. And the officers who were so unwise as to follow Harmonden will be taught a clear lesson. Alright, so before we rest and do the next council, we're gonna go talk to our new companion, our new advisor.
Follow if you dare.
Sir Thomas is flicking through a book of some sort. As you approach, he closes it, then salutes you. Hail, Commander. What's the situation with Harmonden's plan to spark a mutiny? Await the arrival of the forces from Neurosian and act in strict accordance with your orders. Once the army reaches Dresden, we'll know whether or not we've succeeded. It is my hope that we can avoid a massacre within the Crusader ranks. Remind me, who are you? The Whitebearded Knight stands at attention. Sir Thomas Longar, paladin by the grace of Amadei, former adjutant to Captain Harmonden, and the good gods forgive him, and presently in your service as the chair of the Staff Council. If anything else happens, I'll report straight to you. But to tell the truth, I doubt we'll ever need to reconvene the council again. Our strategy seems sound and well laid out. I don't anticipate any complications. Yes, you can usually tell when it's like the final council. It's the culmination of everything that's happened with the council up to that point. Tell me about yourself. I don't like to brag. I've seen many things in my life. I was born in Cheliax, but after certain events, I had to leave my poor homeland. There's just too much heat from all the hellfire. After I left, fate took me many places, from Varissia to Brevoy and back. My strength has faded with age, though. I keep thinking that the time for adventure is past. Once I heard about the new crusade, I knew it was still too early for me to put my feet up. Once we've beaten the Abyss, then I might retire. Who knows? Is the army's morale high? I'm pleased to report the troop morale is currently impeccably high. There have been no incidents, aside from a couple of disrespectful remarks about commanding officers made in states of inebriation. Even in those cases, proper apologies have already been made. What's that book you're reading? This old thing. The Whitebearded Knight smiles as he shows you the colorful cover of a tattered chapbook, depicting a dragon-riding knight smiting some tentacled monster. Just a trifle, to tell the truth. A silly dime novel. Yet I can't help but love its silliness. Even though I know firsthand the reality is nothing like them, when I open one, I feel myself half a century younger. Thank you for reporting Captain Harmonden's treason. I wish I hadn't come to this. When I uncovered his plan, I was fuming. He's an officer, and twice my age, yet his behavior was that of a child. Well, he got what he deserved, or will get what he deserves. I have to go. I wish you good luck in battle, Commander. Hail, Commander. Alright, I'm gonna do something real quick without triggering the next council meeting. We'll save that for next time. We're gonna leave Dresden and rest, or camp right outside its gates. Folsom Quinn is the only truthful person in the inside-out reality of the Abyss. She openly displays what Articulate and the rest try to hide. All that means is that she is more foolish than other demons, alas. So unfortunately these are all level 12 armies. I'm not sure how this is going to play out. That wasn't too bad. An army of Baphomet's furious warriors was reduced to dust by the Crusaders. The leader couldn't believe he'd lost to the very end, even as his life was bleeding out of him. He kept staring at the unholy relic in his hands, astonished. The prisoners have said that this relic, intended to bring death to mortals, was apparently granted to him by Baphomet himself. We get Breastplate of the Tireless Warrior. This +5 adamantine breastplate grants its wearer immunity to fatigue and exhaustion effects. Level it up as well. A Master Maneuver at 3 is probably what we want. We could get Salvage. Defeating an enemy army adds 1,000 finance points. We also get Dimension Door. A target unit gains a teleportability for 3 rounds. Extensive Infirmary. Infirmary size increases by 5% per level of this feat. Deep Defensive Order. All units in the army gain a +6 bonus to armor class instead of a +4 bonus to armor class, making the total defense action. And Outflank. Flanking grants a +4 bonus to attack instead of a +2 bonus to attack. I think with Master Maneuver here. So we get Clerics in here, ideally. Oh, didn't mean to actually approach. That's fine. Hopefully they're not undead. The sounds of battle roll over the suburbs of Oz. An army of demons came out to meet the commander's military force with the clear intention of preventing the latter from entering the city. Perhaps the fate of the Crusade is being decided there right now. Resources found: finance points 20,000, material points 350, energy points plus 500. Cool. Alright, I'm gonna call it here, and next time we're to Dresden, we'll take care of the Diplomatic Council. Probably rest up again, do some more Crusade management. We've cleared out a lot of these areas. We'll probably head down south and do a Gravestone Rock. Knock out Sila's quest next time. I thought we were done down here, but we're not. but we will be soon. Alright, I'm gonna call it here. Thanks for watching. Hope to see you guys in the next one.